Welcome to today's VF reminder. We're about to deal with flight mechanics to ease principles of flight's lesson. For a straight horizontal steady flight, remember forces acting on the aircraft, weight and thrust on gravity center, lift and drag on pressure center. Pressure center moves forward when angle of attack increases and gravity center moves with fuel consumption. Generally, at low speed pressure center is forward gravity 1, giving a pitch-up moment. At high speed, pressure center is behind, giving a pitch-down moment. Tailplane maintains equilibrium by countering pitching moments arising from pressure and gravity center movements. A balancing force from the tailplane is added or subtracted to the lift. Usually, in cruise, center of pressure is behind the center of gravity, so the tailplane supply a downforce. Since the aircraft is in a steady level flight, meaning the acceleration is zero, balance forces impose. Speed is steady, angle of attack also is. So, if you reduce speed, you have to increase angle of attack to keep a constant lift. Thrust must equal drag. Above minimum drag velocity, if drag increases, thrust has to do so. At point A, thrust required is T1, and to rejoin B position, thrust has to be increased to T2. If you are at A point, and you increase thrust to T2, you will arrive in C position, so thrust is greater than drag of A position. This excess of thrust will increase speed of the aircraft and B position will be attained, thrust and drag will be equal again. In the case of steady climb, following a climb angle gamma, we obtain, via Newton's second law. Lift is less than weight, it supports only a proportion. This proportion decreases if climb angle increase, no lift required in vertical climb. Thrust supports the remaining proportion of weight. The smaller the drag for a given thrust, the greater the ability to climb. Notice that flaps up configuration gives the fewer drag, and so best climb angle, in X the best climb gradient. Climb angle is function of thrust minus drag. They both vary with airspeed, and the excess of thrust will be the highest at a particular speed called Vx. For a propeller engine aircraft, Vx is usually below minimum speed drag, but for Jet 1's Vx is close to the minimum speed drag. Temperature and altitude does not affect drag if airspeed is constant, but an increasing weight increases drag. This leads to a decrease of the climb angle in case of increasing weight. Thrust available is lower when temperature and altitude are higher. An increase of these two factors lead to a climb angle decrease. In a steady descent with power on, following a descent angle gamma, we obtain, via Newton's second law. Weight's perpendicular component to the flight path is balanced with lift. The other weight's component acts along the flight path and is added to thrust to balance drag. Lift is less than weight and thrust is less than drag. With a constant thrust setting, airspeed will increase and drag too in order to keep equilibrium. If throttle is closed, there is no more thrust. A larger component of weight must be provided if we want to keep a constant airspeed and balance drag. The only way is to lower the nose and increase the descent angle gamma. Challenge yourself on the Instagram profile. And do not forget to subscribe if you have liked this video, so you can be advised when new ones will rise.